Hi guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how you can make your own sewing patterns out of clothing that you already own. I found this really cute dress at the thrift store the other day and I thought it would be a simple pattern to make. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of paper to trace your pattern pieces. You're just going to take a pencil or a pen and you're going to trace around each section of your garment. So I folded the back section in half and I'm just going to trace along every edge. Obviously not everybody is going to be making this exact garment that I am making, but the steps are going to be basically the same. You're just going to have to look at the garment you're making and see how it's put together so you can decide exactly what pieces you need to trace. You're going to flip the garment to the front and you're going to trace along the front just like you did the back. So here are my two pattern pieces. I have added seam allowance, a 5/8 of an inch, and the front is going to be on the fold because there is no seam in the front. And then the back is going to have this facing because the pattern is supposed to have buttons, but I might just end up putting in a zipper. And you're going to cut two of the back, not on the fold. Next, I'm going to measure out how long the skirt is going to be. It ended up being about 18 inches, and then I'm going to make sure to add seam allowance for the top and the bottom. So I'm showing you that I kind of just drew out what the skirt was looking like, and then I wrote down these measurements just to be sure I did not forget them. So there's an opening in the back right here, and I'm just measuring how much that goes down. So it goes down 3 inches, and I'm just adding 3/8 of an inch for seam allowance. And then I measured out these straps, and those ended up being, I think, 26 inches long, and then adding 5/8 of an inch for seam allowance. I also had to measure how wide the skirt was, and it ended up being 28 inches, and then I was adding 5/8 of an inch on each side. Now it is time to test the pattern. I've cut out all my pieces, and I decided to do a complete lining in this dress just because it makes it much easier to get a nice clean neckline. Now I am pinning the lining to the bodice, right sides together, and I'm pinning them at the neckline and the armhole openings. Then I'm going to go to my sewing machine and sew those down. After I sewed down the neckline, I went and did a gathering stitch on the lining of the skirt and the main bodice, and then I attached those to the lining and the bodice. Here I am adding the straps, and I'm just kind of sandwiching them in between both sides of the bodice, and then I'm going along and just pinning the lining together. So I'm sewing down the lining sides together all the way until you get to the main fabric of your dress, and you just keep sewing. This creates a really seamless interior to your dress so you don't see any seams. You repeat this step on both sides. I decided to put in an invisible zipper instead of buttons, so I switched my sewing machine over to an invisible zipper foot. First, you sew down your zipper to the main fabric of your dress, and then you pull the lining outside of the dress and you sew it down on the other side of the zipper. And when you put your lining back in, and it creates a seamless interior. Now I'm just hemming my skirt and also the lining. Here are both garments side by side, and you can see that they look very similar. I'm just going to show you the back here. Here's the difference. I did a zipper, and on the garment that I thrifted, there's buttons. Otherwise, it is exactly the same.